class. This is your teacher, Miss Shaver. So I wanted to talk through your capstone paper, kind of talk through the different elements that you're going to be including in each one of your paragraphs. And then I'm going to talk through a little bit about your outline and how that is supposed to look. Okay. So first of all, in your introduction, you're essentially going to do three things. And these three things you are going to put in your outline. Okay. So first of all, you're going to have some sort of attention grabber. Again, an attention grabber is exactly what it sounds like. It grabs your reader's attention. So maybe it's a question that really gets your audience thinking about your career. Like, what if there were no teachers in the world, right? That would kind of grab your reader's attention. I don't know. Again, you'll come up with a better question than that probably, but just think of something to grab your reader's attention. I would suggest just a question because that's an easy way to start it off. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to introduce your career and what the roles or the responsibilities are. So for example, I gave you the example of like a teacher again, because that's the career I'm familiar with. So you could say something like, teachers are responsible for planning daily lessons that challenge students academically. A teacher's role is to clearly communicate expectations and help students improve their capabilities through providing quality feedback. Boom, okay? So I went over the roles, I went over the responsibilities in two different sentences. That's fine. Then you're going to put your thesis statement. Again, remember guys, your thesis statement, you are mentioning what career you're interested in. You're going to mention the training or the education, the salary, and the job outlook. But the main thing to keep in mind here is that you are not giving those like specific numbers, right? Because you don't want to give away your entire paper before you actually write it. So you're just going to give generalized information. So you could literally say something very similar to what I've got here, just, put your career in there instead. So becoming a teacher is a great career field because teachers are trained and educated, they make a livable wage, and the job outlook is increasing, okay? That is true for most careers. So again, if you're having issues with figuring out exactly how to revise your thesis statement, you could take out teacher, put in your career field, and use a thesis statement very similar to the one that I've got here. I've given you guys individualized feedback about your thesis statement, so please make sure that you're checking your topic thesis sources page, your note cards if you included a revised thesis statement on that assignment. I give you feedback on that. So make sure that you're checking my feedback to make sure that your thesis statement is awesome. Okay. All right. Next order of business is your body paragraph. So basically you'll have some kind of smooth transition. Like one reason teaching is a great career is because, and then you can go into that they're well trained and educated. Okay. Or whatever your reason is for this paragraph. Basically, you're going to be going over the training and education, the salary, and then like advantages and disadvantages, and then the job outlook, which is essentially, how many jobs are out there, right? And what specific fields are growing. So whatever that reason is, you're going to put that for your topic sentences, right? Teachers are well trained and educated, or teachers make a livable wage, or the job outlook for teachers is increasing. Okay, so whatever that topic sentence is, that's what you're going to put there. Let me go ahead and show you your outline, just to kind of show you what you're going to be putting in each one of these paragraphs. So just like I went over the introduction a few minutes ago, okay, boom, those three things you were putting just right there. And all you will do is after the attention grabber, you don't need to delete it or anything, just type out what your attention grabber is here, right? How would the world be different if there were no teachers or electricians or whatever, right? You're just typing out whatever your attention grabber is there. For the responsibility and roles, you'll type that out there. And again, your revised thesis statement, you're probably just copying and pasting. The topic sentence about the training and education, again, that comes from your thesis statement. So you're just going to say something like, one reason teaching is a great career field is because they are well trained and educated. Okay. And then for B and C, you're going to go back to your note cards and you're going to find a specific example, like a quote or something that mentions the education that is required. Okay, make sure that you include your APA in-text citation. Okay, so you should have one website states, comma, a quote, and then at the end, that APA in-text citation with probably the author's last name or whatever comes first in the citation, the year of publication, and the paragraph number where you got it from. Okay, you're going to do the same thing with training. Okay, so like some places, like with teachers, you receive training basically the last like semester that you're in school. You do what's called student teaching, right? And in student teaching, basically you are training for that career. So if you were wanting to do an electrician, right, if that is your career field, what training is required? Do they do like an internship, or is it like a 2-week that you like start on the job and you job shadow someone? So education and training are different, and I want to quote from your websites for each one, okay? And you should have that cited correctly in APA format. All right, I'm going to go back to this other page that kind of tells you what to do in each one of your paragraphs. Notice I'm not having you guys include your commentary in your outline, okay? Your commentary is just you kind of in your own words saying what this shows about your career. So like if you have a piece of evidence, let's go back and talk about this. If you have evidence about the training and education, you would say something like, this quote demonstrates that you need, that most teachers need, a bachelor's degree. They can also go on to get higher education, such as, like master's degree or an education specialist degree. But again, you're just explaining sort of what that means for your career field. You're putting it into your own words. I don't want you to repeat word for word what is said, so make sure that you're not being super repetitive when you actually write out your paper. But I do want some of your own words in there. Like, or you could explain like, this is, really great because it shows that teachers are well educated, and that, they have enough training, to be successful when they start on the job or something like that. So again, your commentary can be kind of different for each one of these, but I'm not having you guys put commentary for this for your outline. Okay, you're just putting your raw evidence essentially. All right, and I want to make sure that you're citing in correct APA format. So that's what you do for most of your body paragraphs. It's pretty much the same format, and then the conclusion, you're going over why you chose this career, why you think the career is meaningful, and you have a good last sentence. I want to go ahead and talk about the format of the paper, and then I'm going to finish talking about the outline. So you are writing this paper in APA style. Now, if you remember, hopefully you guys did an APA style paper for me before. I believe you did, because I think the Beowulf hero or villain paper was an APA style. So if you remember that, you will have a title page, okay? You'll have an abstract. Now, we did not do an abstract last time, so I will be explaining what an abstract is and how to complete one of those. And then a references page. We didn't do a references page last time. We are doing one this time. But if you cited your sources correctly on your note cards assignment, you've already done some of this. Like your references page, you're going to be copying and pasting some information from your note cards. So it's not as hard as it may sound. You're going to do it in Times New Roman 12-point font, double spaced, 1-inch margins, all that's normal. The final draft should be 750 words, excluding title, page, abstract, and references. So that's just the body of your paper should be about 750 words. I think that's like 2 to 3 pages. Okay, so it's not a super, super long paper. And I'm going to give you guys like an entire week to write it. When we get back from spring break, basically you'll have, Monday through Thursday to write the paper, and it'll be due on the following Monday. So it's not going to be something that's super difficult. Hopefully we'll be back in school at that point. I don't know. But again, if we're online, that's the sort of time frame you're looking at. If we're back in class, you guys may have a little bit more time to get things done. Anyway, we'll talk about after spring break when we get there. We're just taking one day at a time. All right, let's go back to this outline. So we've already talked about how to complete the introduction. Okay, we've also talked about what you're doing for this one. So your next paragraph, you're going to have a topic sentence about the salary. Now, I will say this, and I know some of you guys won't hear me, but please make sure you are not giving me the exact number in the topic sentence. In the topic sentence, you should just say something like, another reason, being a teacher is a fantastic, if I can spell, career choice is because they make a livable wage. Okay, so notice I said livable wage. I did not give a number. Okay, you are not giving a number. Just like in here, when you're going over the topic sentence about the training and education, make sure you're not saying it requires a bachelor's degree, because then you don't have anything to talk about when you get to your evidence. So make sure these are generalized statements. Then you will give some specific evidence about the salary. Okay, and here's where, again, you will copy and paste from your note cards. You will include the APA in-text citation. Then you're going to go over some specific evidence about advantages and disadvantages of the job. So think about every job has advantages and disadvantages. I'll give you some examples with teaching. Advantages of the job, you get summer off, right? You get Christmas break off. Like there's lots of breaks for teachers, and that makes it really nice. Like if teachers have kids or whatever, they have the same breaks as those kids. So the schedule, I would say, of teachers is really, really nice in comparison to other jobs. Now, some of the disadvantages is like it is almost 6 o'clock and I'm recording a screencast, right? Like teachers have to grade stuff, and sometimes that takes, longer than a regular, like, 8 to 4 kind of a job. So the disadvantages of it is maybe that, if you're grading lots of stuff, that you're going to be working more than 40-hour weeks, and it's a salary job, so you're not getting paid for overtime. So those would be some of the disadvantages, okay? But basically, you're going to find some evidence, not just that you know about advantages and disadvantages, but look up evidence from websites, right? What do the websites say are some of the advantages and disadvantages? So you might copy some advantages and then explain in your own words what that means. You might copy and paste some disadvantages and then, provide some commentary in your paper. But again, for here, you're just going to provide some quotes. So I thought about having you guys even do specific evidence about disadvantages and then specific evidence about advantages. And I think maybe that's the way to go, because I feel like if they're grouped together, then you guys may forget to like do both. Okay, so I'm going to leave it separated like that. The last thing that you're doing, again, is the job outlook. The job outlook has to do with how many jobs are available out there. Also think about, the specific fields, like everybody that is doing a job, you're looking at a specific career field. So like with teaching, I'm an English teacher, right? So an English high school teacher is different than like a math teacher. It's different from a elementary school teacher. So when you're completing this, again, topic sentence about job outlook, you'll just say something like, lastly, another reason, oops, I can't spell, guys, I'm sorry. Another reason teaching is a great career is because the job outlook is increasing, okay? And notice I didn't put any specific numbers, right? I'm just leaving it very generalized. Your topic sentences shouldn't include any specific information. Then you're going to include some specific information about how many jobs will be available or the growth rate percentage. So this is where you're going to say, you're going to copy and paste something from your sources where you're saying basically how much, like the percentage that your specific job is growing, the teacher field, right? But then you're going to think about the specific department or your area of expertise. Like for instance, or you might even think about, a specific part of the country. So like somebody in Georgia is going to have a different maybe job outlook than somebody in New York or California, right? It's going to be different. So depending on your specific career, you're just going to kind of adjust it to whatever it works for you. But like I would say something about how maybe there are more jobs available as science and math teachers than there are with English teachers, right? There's a lesser of a demand. So whatever works for that, again, you're just finding evidence about specific department, area of expertise, or a specific part of the country where jobs are growing more so than others. You're just giving some generalized information about your career, okay? What I would do too is I would delete this, okay? Like when you are actually typing stuff out, just delete this and put a colon there and then type that out. I just left that for you guys so that you would know what to talk about. All right, I've got a minute left, so I've got to do this quick. Basically, in your conclusion, you're going to say why you chose this career. Everybody has a reason. It might be a personal reason. It might be a professional reason. It might be, I don't know, but why did you choose this career? Be honest, okay? And then why do you think this career is meaningful? Like, why are you passionate about it? I mean, I've told you guys that as a teacher, I don't make a ton of money, but I care about you guys. I care about my students. I want you guys to learn how to become better writers and readers and critical thinkers. And the fact that I care about my students, that's why I'm passionate about it. It's not the money. For some of you, it could be the money, right? But tell me why you are passionate about it. Why is it meaningful? And then just end with a really good last sentence. In this document, I talk about how you can end the paper discussing the importance of the career. Okay, just say something kind of meaningful at the end. All right, so that is how you complete the outline, and that is the format of it. If you have questions, please email me. Let me know how I can help you. All right. I look forward to reading your outlines.